What's going on, everybody? Narcolepsy Boy 94, aka Malik, back here again, giving y'all another podcast that y'all can love and remember. Doing some Extreme Rules predictions today, since we're just a couple days away from Extreme Rules. A lot of actually, this card is pretty good too. It's kind of like I don't know if anybody's been looking at the algorithm, but like the Triple H cards have only been like very small, but like all matches have storylines that make sense and all good matches that are pretty solid. So I'm excited for the show. I was at Extreme Rules last year, and I'm very upset that I went last year because the show was terrible. There was like one match that was. This year, all matches are extreme. I'm a little jealous. If you're going this year, I'm a little jealous. I kind of want a refund, but I'll let my guests introduce themselves. You guys can plug in your social medias, and then we will start going down the list of matches that I have here, and then we'll also look at the fan questions too. I see some people are in the chat leaving some comments, so thank you guys for joining. Kevin with the Discord, I got you afterwards. I got you with the Discord. Maddie, you go ahead and you can introduce yourself first.
What's going on, guys? My handle is Persephone on TikTok. That's my name, Persephone, also known as Maddie. Good to see everybody.
Go, Nate.
What's going on, everybody? Nate the Great. My handle right here, Nathan Coleman 6 on TikTok. That's it.
Hey, it's Mary the Heel back again. I'm excited to do these predictions, and I'm hoping for all W's this time.
What's going on? I'm Darian, but I go by the Russell Spot. I have my own YouTube podcast too. But I'm excited for the show this weekend. Let's get into it.
I've been pretty spot on with the predictions. I'm not gonna lie. My predictions usually are my predictions aren't too bad. They're kind of hit and miss. I'm not gonna lie, a little hit and miss, but I mean, we'll see how it goes here. We'll see how the prediction goes. So let's start with this match, and we'll go down the order. We'll start with the strap match between Drew and Karrion Kross. Me personally, so a lot of these matches are kind of like a toss-up for me. Like I could see some of these matches going either way. This one's kind of tough too. I know Drew just came off the big match with Roman at Clash at the Castle, but I just feel like Karrion Kross is going to win. I just can't see him losing his first real big pay-per-view match back on the main roster. I think, I don't know if anybody here watched NXT during the Black and Gold era, but if you saw Karrion Kross in NXT, he was a fucking monster. So, I would imagine Triple H wants to make him a star, and definitely he's a potential world champion that I see for the future. So I think Drew's kind of in a tough spot, man. I still like Drew McIntyre. I still feel like he's somebody who can be a top guy for them. But I think he's kind of like in the Seth Rollins position where he's putting people over to help make other stars right now. So I think Drew McIntyre is probably going to take this L. And maybe they'll extend the feud. I don't know, like they could have another match and Drew wins the second match or something like that. I don't know. But for this match, I just feel like Karrion Kross is going to win this match. Hopefully they do have a good match, but I can't see him losing his first big show. Like, I think Triple H is going to try to slowly try to build him back up to what he was in kind of an NXT as far as being a dominant force. So I'm going with Karrion Kross. What about you, May?
I'm going to go with Karrion as well, especially considering he's got Scarlett in his corner. There might be a little interference there. I think this would be a deserved win for Karrion. I feel like we've seen a lot of Drew victories. I don't think it's going to hurt him if Karrion wins. And like you said, I think this would be a great chance for Triple H to help build up Karrion to get to a spot that he deserves to be at. Because from being released, being treated like garbage on the main roster before, this is a chance for him to rebuild himself like he was in the Black and Gold days. So I'm excited to see this match, and I'm really rooting for Karrion because I don't think it's going to hurt Drew again. And I think this could be really beneficial. And this will also be a good chance to push Scarlett a little bit as well. So I'm rooting for Karrion, and I definitely think he's going to win.
What about you, Nate? Who do you got here?
I got Karrion as well. I think that is going to be really beneficial for him to win this match, help build him up. Drew had his time. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if Drew had like a mid-card title as well. It won't really hurt him as much just because of like the star power that Drew has already. We already seen with like the amount of returns with Triple H just building up the newer superstars. So I think that Karrion Kross is going to win, and yeah, obviously he has Scarlett in his corner as well, so that could bring like a little bit of interference as well. So Karrion Kross for the dub.
So 3 Karrion Kross so far. What about you, Mary? You going Karrion Kross as well, or are you going Drew McIntyre?
I am going Karrion Kross as well, just for the simple fact that if he doesn't win, then this whole build-up to me was kind of pointless. So he needs to establish himself now that he's back, and I think that Drew, like they said, Drew will be fine. If he loses, it's not, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to hurt his career. So Karrion Kross needs to win this.
Russell Spot, Darian.
So I feel like I should, make it interesting and go McIntyre, but it's Cross's first first feud since he's come back, so there's no reason he should lose it. McIntyre's gonna be okay. I got Cross.
We all got Karrion Kross so far. This one might be a little interesting. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey in the Extreme Rules match. So I was at SummerSlam, and going into that match, a lot of people, myself included, really didn't know how that match was going to turn out. Like, we all kind of felt Liv Morgan was going to retain because she just won the championship, but we just didn't know how because we couldn't see her beating Ronda. So it was like, I don't know how they're going to end. And then obviously we saw the finish and everything. This right here, I just can't see Ronda Rousey losing in an Extreme Rules match to Liv Morgan. And just, anything goes, but it's like everything benefits Ronda in this match when it comes to anything goes because you can use any type of weapon in this match. I don't know. Liv Morgan, I have been enjoying like the new aggression that she's been showing lately and everything towards Ronda, though, like the brawl they had last week and everything. She's been showing the more aggressive side going up against Ronda, and I'm really digging that. But Ronda Rousey just has so much legitimacy, so much believability behind her. And it's not even just has anything to do with her character, it's because her name and everything, where she comes from. So it's just like it's just really hard for me to see her lose to Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match. So I think Ronda Rousey is going to win and become champion again. The only way I could see her losing is if like some type of somebody comes out and helps Liv win, like a Charlotte Flair return or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, Charlotte comes back and helps, Liv retain the championship because they still kind of got, I guess they still kind of got a story there between Ronda and Charlotte because Ronda won at WrestleMania. Charlotte won at WrestleMania. Ronda won at Backlash. So it's like, they're kind of even. But that's just a big what if. We don't even know if she's even going to come back yet. So if assuming that no interference happens, I think Ronda Rousey's going to win. I think Liv Morgan will put up a really good underdog type fight, kind of like if you saw the Mustafa Ali and Bobby Lashley match in Raw, like where Bobby Lashley was pretty much beating his ass, but like Mustafa Ali wasn't giving up type thing, like he wasn't quitting. Not saying Ronda will beat her up like that, but I think it's going to be to the point where like Liv will put up a really good fight and she'll continue to fight until she just can't fight anymore, and then I think Ronda will end up taking the dub. So I'm going with Ronda Rousey.
I'm actually okay with seeing either one of these ladies win. I really don't mind it going either way. Like you said, I think Charlotte is going to return, which I don't know how excited I am about that, considering because for me, the Charlotte Ronda storyline is just pretty boring. I don't think their chemistry in the ring is really great, just my opinion. I'm going to say I see Liv winning due to interference, but again, this could go either way. I think Ronda losing to Liv for a third time wouldn't necessarily make her look great, but at the same time, her first 2 losses to Liv didn't necessarily make her look bad. So this wouldn't be, too bad. And Ronda's been pretty vocal backstage about wanting to push Liv, so this could go either way. And I'm also seeing some people in the chat talking about Shayna. I think Shayna should have been a multi-time women's champion by now. And that's another thing. It could be Shayna that comes out and maybe helps Ronda take the win, or Shayna comes out and helps Liv win. We just don't know what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some kind of interference there. But I honestly got Liv winning this one.
Shayna could play a factor as well. I know Ronda's been talking about like her killer instinct needs to come back type thing. So Shayna could maybe play a factor. What about you, Nate?
To be honest, I don't know. Like I said, I'm cool with whoever wins. I'm not a Ronda Rousey fan at all. Liv Morgan she grew on me a little bit, but kind of like Um, I don't know. Like I think I would just say I think Liv is going to retain. One, she haven't held. I don't think she held the title for that long. And then for two, we quote unquote finally saw her aggressive side. I think that was last week Friday or like a couple Fridays ago. So I about to say Liv with weapons. I think that she could beat Ronda Rousey with weapons. I think that's the reason why they have this extreme rules match. Just because to give Liv, Ronda, somebody an extra edge with weapons, because we already know how beastly Ronda Rousey is, but imagine her with weapons. So yeah, like I said, either one, I really don't care, but I'll take Liv for the dub on this one.
All right, what about you, Mary?
All right. If you follow me on TikTok, you know how I feel about Ronda Rousey. I do not like her. I do not think she is good as a professional wrestler. Obviously, she's an incredible athlete. That being said, I do think that Ronda is going to come out with the win because I think Liv was just the right champ at the wrong time. I think everything right now just made it so that Liv, it wasn't the right time, and hopefully she'll have a real championship reign sometime down the road. But for Extreme Rules, I'm going with Ronda.
What about you, Darian?
This is a tie.
I could see you going. I could see you going either way, but just for the pure fact that I don't see Liv beating Ronda 3 times. I mean, the second one wasn't the cleanest, but it's still a win. I gotta go. Ronda being your new SmackDown Women's Champ.
Do you guys think so assuming that, say that Ronda does beat Liv, do you guys think that what do you think happens next for Liv? Because I don't really see her being in the title picture if she does lose again. So what do you think is best for her? They try to build her up by feuding with somebody else, or maybe put her in a group or something, or like what are they? Because I'm kind of with Mary. I think having her win Money in the Bank was good, but I think they had to cash in a little too early. I think they should have had her win the Money in the Bank and build her up with the briefcase like over time,
Yes.
and then when she cashed in, it would have been the right time. But they kind of pushed it a little early, so it kind of just seems like the wrong. Plus, she's been facing opponents that people just don't believe the Liv Morgan character is capable of beating. She faced Ronda and she faced Shayna, but even though Shayna hadn't really done much on the main roster, Shayna Baszler was a killer at one point. So it's like people still kind of remember that. Even though she did beat Shayna clean, it was still kind of like, I guess. But like, I don't know. I'm a little, like I said, I mean, she has been showing the more of aggressionness, in her character. So that's good for this type of feud. But if Ronda does beat her, I can't see them having another match afterwards. So what do you guys think would happen with Liv? I mean, what do you think the best thing for her would to do?
I could see her being. Oh, sorry, Mary.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I could see her probably being thrown into the tag division. I'm just hoping she doesn't get the Xia Li treatment. God, I think maybe her pairing up with maybe she'll join Alexa Bliss in a tag team. Maybe she'll become a part of a faction with Bianca or something. A heel turn would be really, really great for her. But I agree with what you said. I don't see her continuing to be in the title picture if she does lose.
What were you going to say, Mary? I'm going to touch on it real quick.
I was going to say the same thing. I see Liv potentially going into the tag team division. Now with who? I don't know. But honestly, I think it would be kind of cool if she joined Damage Control. I know they don't need her, but I feel like if she did have a heel turn, then she could join them. And I feel like she would kind of be like the solo Sikoa in that situation. Just like the wild card.
She could join Judgment Day. That would be cool.
I don't know.
Another girl? I mean, Rhea's been carrying that group pretty good on her own. But
and then maybe the tag team champs?
Okay. Wait, I'm here for this. Judgment
Day. Judgment Day? Maybe. I mean, I don't think I'd be opposed to it. It really sucks that they couldn't have the Riot Squad right now. Like when they were like when the Riot Squad was a group, they didn't have tag titles or anything. And I mean, they're kind of
Yeah.
just there. And I mean, they were kind of getting fed to the wolves too. So maybe though, I'll be curious to see what they can do. Maybe she'll be in the tag team. Maybe they'll do something with her. So obviously, we don't know the outcome of the Intercontinental Championship match that we're going to see tomorrow between Sheamus and Gunther. That match will happen tomorrow. So don't know how that's going to turn out. So we're doing our predictions before that match. But I'm still going to go with Imperium over the Brawling Brutes. I think we talked about Karrion Kross earlier, but I think Gunther is another guy that Triple H really likes and wants to make a top star and a future world champion, and in the future for the company that he likes. So I'm going to say Imperium here. Whether Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship tomorrow or not, I don't know. Sheamus could win the title, which I'd be fine with, but if he loses the championship, then I think that probably means Gunther's probably going to move up to the bigger picture in the main event scene more. So I'm going to say Imperium takes it up here. But this match probably – I said this about Clash of the Castle. I said Sheamus and Gunther was going to be match of the night. This match right here possibly could be match of the night. It's going to be physical. It's going to be hard-hitting. Not sure what a Donnie Brooke match is. I don't know what that is, but, I mean, it's something. So it's going to be some type of weapons or physicality in it. But Sheamus is physical in the ring. So is Gunther. Pete Dunne's physical as well. And so is Rich Holland and everybody else in Imperium. So I think it's going to be just a big fight, just a big brawl and fight where everybody's bruised up at the end of it. You know what I mean? But I think Imperium probably gets this win here because they could also be a group in the future that everybody could have championship gold in, tag team champions, mid-card titles or world titles, whatever Gunther is holding at the time. But I'm going to go with Imperium.
I'm going to have to go with the Brawling Brutes, although I think I want Imperium to win, and I think it would be a lot better for them to win, especially from them being broken apart by Vince and now only coming back together at Clash of the Castle. I feel like there's really no reason for them to lose, and it wouldn't be a great decision, again, for them to lose. This would help reignite them and make them appear strong to, the fans. People be like, oh, right, that's Imperium. They're strong. They're back together. They're here to own the division. And I don't think the Brawling Brutes would be hurt by this one at all because they've been pretty dominant lately. I do have the Brawling Brutes winning, but I really do hope Imperium takes the win because I think they deserve it.
For this one, I had to say Imperium, just because Walter is in freaking beast mode right now. Like this dude, man, those chops that he be giving, bro, fantastic. Imperium as a force right now, back together. They're going off. They got the momentum going in, so I feel like Imperium is gonna ride that wave and get this match done. So I got Imperium.
Okay. Right, man.
I also said Imperium, but I've been flip-flopping about this one literally for like 2 days because for me, either way, they're gonna be fine. So like I don't think it's gonna hurt either team if they lose, but I think Imperium needs to show their dominance because if not, then it just kind of seems like they're gonna get buried, and I don't want that.
That is true.
Yeah, but me as well. I'm kind of flip flopping because it wouldn't hurt the Brawling Brutes to lose. It wouldn't hurt Imperium to lose because it's a big no DQ match. I think the Donnie Brooke, that's the same one that Sheamus and McIntyre had, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like a no DQ basically. But yeah.
Okay, is that the name? I didn't know that was the name of the match. So I was like, I thought it was just like I thought that was like just a street fight or something. I don't remember. But I remember the match.
Basically a glorified street fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really think it depends on who wins tomorrow, but I'm still gonna go Imperium.
What do you guys think is going to win the title tomorrow? You think it's going to be Sheamus? You think he's going to get the IC title, or you think it'll be?
No.
I hope not, honestly.
Sheamus doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
Last time he held that title, it was just...
But he's never been the Intercontinental Champion, though.
Yeah, he never been.
Wrong title. My bad.
He's been, I think it was the U.S. champion. He was the U.S. title.
That's what I'm thinking of,
title. But that was under the booking of Vince when they didn't really make the U.S. titles feel important at that time. So,
Well, Damian had a pretty good run.
Damian his run was good in the beginning. I thought
Yeah.
it was okay in the beginning, and then kind of towards the end, it kind of just like faded away a little bit for me. But I think Imperium could win. I think they will win. Brawling Brutes, if they do win, I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't be like opposed to it, but I think Imperium is more of like the future right now that you want to kind of invest into. So, about this one right here, the Fight Pit, Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. With Daniel Cormier, special guest referee. If anybody watches UFC, you already know who he is. I'm a big UFC fan, so one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. An actual WWE fan too. He's a big wrestling fan. I'm going to touch on him after this. My prediction for this match. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Fight Pit match. They've only had a couple. They did Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher, and then they did somebody else too. I can't remember.
Ciampa and Thatcher, I think.
Ciampa and Thatcher.
Ciampa and Thatcher in NXT. So I believe they've only had two. They've only had two Fight Pit matches so far in WWE. But it kind of was brought around by like Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. They were doing their thing and kind of brought it together and everything. I do think this feud will be over with after this Extreme Rules. I don't see them continuing the feud afterwards. I believe more than likely Seth Rollins honestly has a chance to win the title Monday against Bobby Lashley. I think Triple H has higher plans for Seth Rollins because he's kind of been not where a lot of people have wanted him to be, and he's been doing a lot of good shit. He's been putting in work this year. I ain't gonna lie. He's been having great matches this year, doing great stuff. He's just been losing a lot, and that's why people haven't been too upset. This one's kind of tough. This is Matt Riddle type of match, the Fight Pit style, and with DC being the referee and everything, it kind of benefits. But I think Seth Rollins is gonna win. I can't see. I can't see him taking another big L this year. I think he's already lost too many, and I think, like I said, I think Triple H has different plans and higher plans for Seth Rollins. Maybe as far as being champion, whether he wins the U.S. title, which I could see him doing. I still think he's going to challenge Roman again at some point for the title in the future, which is that's the storyline's always there. But I'm not exactly sure how this will go down, how this will end, because this is Matt Riddle's type of match style. Maybe Daniel Cormier is there for a reason to help Seth Rollins win. I don't know. Either way, I just think Seth Rollins is going to get this dub, and I think after this it'll be over with because storyline wise, Seth Rollins really didn't want to fight Riddle again because he already beat him, and he kind of just gave it to him just because Matt Riddle just kind of forcing it. So he's like, whatever, I'll fight you again type thing. So I don't see this kind of being a trilogy type match with like Seth and Cody. I think this will be the last one, and Seth Rollins will move on to, I think, will be Bobby Lashley now because that kind of already got a story going right there. It kind of attacked him on Raw, and now they're fighting for the championship. And I do think Seth Rollins probably could win the title Monday. So I think that'll kind of be the new feud for Seth, and Riddle will kind of start doing. Maybe he goes back to the Judgment Day or something. Maybe because there's still kind of something there for that. They kind of want him in. He said no, and they kind of started going after him a little bit, but he's kind of involved in another story. So maybe he goes, back to the Judgment Day again. Maybe they do something with that. But I think I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins for me.
I actually do see this being a trilogy, and I think that's why I'm thinking Matt Riddle might win, just to give him one win, and then Seth will win the third match and kind of wrap it up. I really unpopular opinion, people might get mad. I really do want Riddle to win. I think he deserves a win after, I feel like he's been on quite the losing streak since Randy left. Huge RK Bro stan. I think this is his kind of match. He's a former UFC fighter. He knows this type of match. This is for him. So I feel like he deserves to get the win. I feel like he probably will. Again, I don't think it's going to hurt him if Seth wins. If anything, it might be a good thing because it might make Riddle look like, a worthy opponent. I think both guys are going to kill it in this match. I think I see Riddle winning again, if not the biggest deal. But I think because this is kind of his environment, what he's familiar with, kind of newer territory for Seth, I'm going to go with Matt Riddle winning.
For this one, I got to go with Seth. I don't know. I think Seth will get accustomed to this newer environment, even though Matt Riddle been in the fight pit match before. But we've seen Seth last week use the submission hold on Rey Mysterio. So quote unquote, he's been working. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be super kicks galore and curve stumps for days. So Seth Rollins all the way.
Kind of rhymed, dang on, kind of rhymed.
Listen. I need Matthew to get a win. I just need it for my soul, for my chakra. He needs it because he's been on a downward streak, and this is his match to win. It's not gonna hurt Seth. Like, even if he loses, no one's gonna be like, wow, Seth Rollins is terrible. Like, that, no one's ever gonna say that. But Matt needs this win so desperately, and if he doesn't, I'm gonna be very upset.
We're gonna riot. Absolutely.
We're gonna be like Marissa with the megaphone in front of the WWE building.
100%.
Man, okay, so I don't think a loss would hurt Rollins. I don't think it would hurt Riddle. Man, it is supposed to be Riddle's, house, his background. But then again, I also see Rollins. I feel like they're gonna head towards Rollins and Reigns are gonna get back at the Rumble. So would it hurt for him to lose like right here? I think Riddle's gonna take this and they're gonna have one more match, maybe at Survivor Series or something. But I gotta go Riddle.
I do think. So, side note, I do think something probably will happen with Daniel Cormier. I don't think he's just gonna show up in this dip. I think he's definitely doing something with Brock Lesnar for Crown Jewel, because they were supposed to fight they were legit supposed to fight in the UFC, but they never, like, it didn't come to terms because something like the deal, like Brock was still with WWE, and I don't know, something didn't happen. But he's been a big fan, so I definitely see something happening with that. I wouldn't be surprised if Brock showed up extra moves, honestly. Like, I like, once the match is over with, I'm talking about like the match is over with, and like maybe like DC's in the ring by himself and fucking the music hits and Brock comes out or some shit, because I definitely could see that happening. So definitely, I definitely see him doing something with Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's when he got a UFC guy come in. There's only one guy they call to do shit with Brock Lesnar. So I mean, that's something I definitely see happening. But as far as the win here, I mean, it'll be a toss up. I don't think Riddle winning, because it would make sense because it is his match, so it's not like it's out of the ordinary for him to win a fight pit match. But I'm tired of Seth Rollins losing, honestly. I would be really upset.
I'm tired of both of them losing.
So they kind of in a tough spot, but I think the Cody thing kind of, and I like Cody Rhodes, but I thought for sure Seth was going to win the second match at Backlash. And
he should have.
And then when they had the Hell in a Cell match and Cody was injured, I'm like, okay, well, Seth definitely won this match because he's hurt, and Cody still won. So I was like, oh shit, like, damn, like, I kind of feel bad for Seth Rollins. And I like Cody Rhodes more than Seth Rollins, but I kind of feel a little bad for Seth Rollins right now. Like, he's losing a lot of big matches. Kind of gets a little bit of steam a little off. You know what I'm saying? He lost the Money in the Bank, and people thought he was going to win that, and then didn't even have the match at SummerSlam. So it's like, damn, bro, like, kind of going a little bit down a little bit. Riddle kind of the same way ever since the RK Bro separation. Riddle and Randy's been hurt, and we don't know when he's coming back. He lost the match to Roman, which everybody loses to Roman, so that ain't surprising. But he lost the match with Rollins, which kind of was expected at Clash of the Castle for me. So Riddle possibly could win this match because it is his style of match, and they could probably have a trilogy, but which would be a Crown Jewel, so they could have a type of trilogy match. But I think I don't know. I just don't see the trilogy happening. I think Seth Rollins is now doing. I think Seth Rollins will win, and I think he probably will win the U.S. title Monday against Bobby Lashley on Raw, and then his next feud will be against Bobby Lashley, and then Riddle will be doing something else like Judgment Day or something. Maybe he joins Judgment Day for all we know. Maybe he does something different, and he's losing, so maybe he's like, come on in. So, ladder match: Bianca versus Bayley. Maybe the most exciting match for me that I'm excited for on the card. Looking forward to this match very much. I assumed at some point when Damage Control was formed, I figured that at some point they all would hold gold, and they only make sense. Didn't know if it would come this soon though. Dakota and Io, obviously the tag team champions. Bianca and Bayley were supposed to have their feud little last year, and then Bayley got injured, so that never really came to full terms. I know they had the Hell in a Cell match, and they were gonna have the last woman standing match and stuff, and then that didn't play out because Bayley got injured. But I've been going back and forth with this one too, but I think Bayley's gonna win. I think they're all. I mean, like I said, I figured they all have championship gold. I didn't think it would come this early, but Dakota and Io already got the titles. I think Triple H is really gonna push this group heavily. So I think Bayley's gonna win. I don't think she'll go by herself. Obviously, either Damage Control will help her or something. I think either Damage Control will help her win or something with Alexa Bliss will happen. She may have some connection with the whole White Rabbit shit for all I know. And she may, because she kind of seemed a little bit evil on Raw again when she got mad and shit like that. So maybe she does a little turn or something like that. I don't know, but I think overall this probably could be match of the night as well. Bianca, maybe Bianca could win and they do like another match down the road where Bayley wins that match. But I think they're gonna give it to Bayley. I think they're gonna push this group heavily, and I love Bianca Belair, but I'm a huge Bayley fan, so that's who I want to see win, and that's who I think is gonna win. So I'm gonna go with Bayley.
I gotta say, there's really, this opinion, just my opinion, there's really no reason for Bayley to win. I don't think she deserves to win. Bianca has been busting her ass just consistently, and for her to lose to another woman who only just returned, just walked in, didn't do anything to earn it. Well, Bayley did win at Clash of the Castle, so I'll give her that. But I just think it would be really unfair. I think it would be pretty poor treatment towards Bianca. I think she deserves to hold that title for at least maybe 250 days. Obviously, I think she should hold it for at least a year. She's probably the best woman WWE has right now. She's already beaten Bayley clean about 2 to 3 times. So I think her losing to Bayley would be kind of ridiculous. I do think Bayley's going to win, and I'm going to be very mad about it. But again, I don't think Bayley deserves to win. I don't think there's any reason for her to. If there was more build-up where Bayley came back at SummerSlam and then maybe won the title like around WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, sure, maybe that would make more sense. But for Bianca to be this, incredible dominant force, rising star, just to lose to another woman who just walked in, I think would be really unfair. Again, I do think Bayley's going to win. I really don't think Damage Control have been much of a dominant force. It was really exciting to see them at first, and now it's just become a bit lackluster for me. Same kind of with Bianca's faction that she's got going on. I think she would do a lot better with Rhea and Raquel or Sasha and Naomi. I really hope they come back, by the way. I do think Bayley's going to win, but I don't think anyone deserves that title more than Bianca right now.
But this one could be a toss-up too, but I just have the feeling that Bayley is going to win. I do see after Bayley wins the return of hopefully Sasha and Naomi after she wins. Fingers crossed. So I'm just waiting for it. I don't know how Bayley will win. Maybe interference by Damage Control, obviously, or something crazy, but I just have a feeling that Bayley is going to win, so I got Bayley for the dub.
I am going with the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. And let me tell you why. Because I don't think it would make as much of an impact to have Bayley win at Extreme Rules. I think that she should get one more opportunity, and at Crown Jewel, which arguably is number 3 or number 4 biggest pay-per-view of the year now. So I think on that big of a stage, Bayley can win the title and it feel more important. So I think Bianca Belair is going to win because she's the EST. Let's be real.
Where that?
I'm a Bianca Belair super fan. Like that's one of my favorites right now. But like, I don't really see a direction for the title after beating Damage Control, and I also don't really see a direction for Damage Control if they lose. If Bayley loses this match, so I gotta go with Bayley.
So do you guys go ahead?
I just want to say one thing though. I'm annoyed that the tag team titles have kind of gone down again. Like, what are we doing? Because they won and then they haven't had real challengers. And I'm
There's
like,
no real teams right now.
Yeah, we're back to where we started.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally back to where we started.
That's why I think Bayley is going to win, and then once she wins the title, the whole faction will now start to be pushed like wholly, like as a dominant force. Right now, they're still kind of new and fresh, and they've only been put together, kind of making their point with their promos, like this is why we're here and shit like that. So like when Bayley wins the title, I think that will be the start of them getting pushed as a legit faction, because you still got Toxic Attraction down in NXT. Whenever Mandy Rose drops that title, she'll come up. That'll be a legit faction right there. If they want to build another faction, they can. And then Rhea's in Judgment Day, but she's not like, all women's faction, you know what I mean? So she's in a group too. So there's different things you could do with that. If they wanted to do different factions, there's no legit like tag teams that they have right now on the roster that they have to try to build up, you know what I mean? So it kind of goes either way. It kind of goes with the men's tag team titles as well. Like there's other tag teams there, but the New Day, the Usos already beaten other tag teams though. They've beaten New Day, they've beaten Street Profits, they've beaten
Judgment Day.
They've beaten pretty much besides Judgment Day. The Viking Raiders they haven't faced yet either, but they pretty much beaten at least all the top teams, you know what I mean? And so there's not really many tag teams. And I don't think that's Triple H's fault. I think this is over the years of how the tag team division has been built up, you know what I mean? Like they haven't shown they've cared about the tag team division in years, you know what I mean? So it's like it's been kind of watered down for so long. It may take a little while to kind of build it back up just because we've been having the same tag teams for how many years now, and there've only been a few tag teams, unless you're the names of the Usos, the New Day, who've been like legendary pushed. You know what I mean? Everybody else has kind of been there. The Bar had a good push for a little bit. They were pretty solid for a little bit, and they did pretty good as a team. But like every other team, they win the tag titles, and it's kind of like they're just holding the titles. You know what I mean? Like the Revival when they won the titles, they were just champions just to be the champions. You know what I'm saying? So the Alpha Academy didn't have it for long. RK Bro did good things with the championships, but I only think that's because Randy Orton was in the group and he's a fucking legend. So it's like they're not going to use Randy Orton. They're not going to put him in a bad spot. You know what I mean? Matt Riddle did his part, but if Randy Orton was in that tag team would have been nothing, I don't think. I mean, he's the legend. Matt Riddle is not the legend. He's upcoming. So like they're not going to put Randy Orton in a bad spot where I don't think Randy Orton's going to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this if we're not going to be doing something. You know what I mean? Like he's in that position where he has that kind of control in the company. So, but maybe they start to build up the women's tag team titles. I mean, I don't know about the whole Raquel and Aaliyah tag team personally. I'd much rather see Raquel do her own thing. I feel like she's somebody who definitely could be women's champion. Maybe put Aaliyah with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I know Shotzi was doing a thing with Tegan Knox. Maybe you could try to bring Tegan Knox back. I know Ember Moon was her real partner in NXT, but she's down in AEW, so you can't get her back. So maybe they try to get Tegan Knox back, put her with Shotzi again. She brought back the Tank, so now she's a face again. So maybe you could try to do something with that. Doudrop and Nikki Ash, their team, even though they lose a lot, but that's still another team you have on the roster. So, I mean, you got to have some type of other teams there. But I just think, personally, I think Bianca's had the title for as long as they probably want her to, because I definitely think she'll probably lose this match. And I still think next year WrestleMania she's facing Charlotte. I mean, that's the other big match that she hasn't had at WrestleMania. She already faced Sasha. She already faced Becky. I think Becky and Ronda are going to face next year at WrestleMania because that's the match that we didn't get, that everybody wanted like 3 years ago. So I think they're going to make that happen. We don't know if Sasha's coming back yet, so she's not there. So I can't really say she's going to be doing something just yet because I don't know what she's going to be doing. I think the only other big like money match for Bianca, therefore, is Charlotte that we haven't had yet. And so I think that's going to happen. And that doesn't really need a title, honestly. Like they can have a match, and that still will be great without a title. So I mean. I'm interested to see what happens in this match, though. I'm very much looking forward to this match. Either one, winning would be fine. But last one we have right here, last match is the I Quit match. I think it's kind of threw me off with the I Quit stipulation. I ain't gonna lie, it kind of threw me off. I'm a little surprised by the I Quit stipulation. You know what I'm saying? So Judgment Day is kind of starting to at least feel a little bit more revival to me, a little bit. When Edge was in the group, they were cool at first. When they turned on Edge, I wasn't mad at it. I was okay with it at first because, Finn Balor was in there. So I'm like, maybe this is a good sign for Finn Balor. But then they kind of, just kind of didn't do anything. They were losing and shit. I'm like, okay, they're kind of downwards. But now they're kind of starting to get some little steam again, a little behind them. Pretty much everything Edge has done since been back, I think, has been good, though. He's a great storyteller. I really really been going back and forth as far as like prediction for this match because it's an I Quit match. So I'm like, man, like Finn Balor, I think it would hurt him a lot if he did lose this match. But I guess it would depend on how he lost and what happened after he lost. And Edge is a legend, so honestly, I'm going with Finn Balor. I think he's going to win this match. I don't think he's going to beat Edge by himself. I think it's going to be Judgment Day. Maybe AJ Styles turns and he joins the group as well. He kind of maybe saw a little dark side of him again on Raw. And he got a little frustrated with Rey Mysterio and everything. So maybe he decides to join the Judgment Day. A part of me really still want to see Rey Mysterio turn heel and join Judgment Day. We already got Dom in it, bro. We've never seen a heel Rey in WWE, and nobody I think would see it coming because like Rey Mysterio's character is the type where I don't see him like wanting to fight his son. You know what I mean? Like he's just not that type of dude. Like I don't want to fight my son. He's already made that clear, and now his son is like all badass and shit. He's in the group, so I think like. I would love to see Rey kind of just embrace the Dom and just do it, just turn heel and be like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna be with you and we're gonna do this group thing and this is what we're gonna do. And I can only imagine like the type of career Rey Mysterio could have as a heel and the type of like he's never been a heel in WWE, so I could like he's at the end of his career. I don't think it would hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like it could help Judgment Day bring them up too. You know what I mean? Like I think it could do great things for them. Rey Mysterio's also at the point where he's not really gonna be world champion, and I don't think like he's not being pushed like that. So putting him in the Judgment Day, I think would be cool as far as being a mentor, like to everybody in the group. I mean, I would love to see it personally. I kind of hope it happens. I don't think it will. I don't think they'll pull that trigger for that. But if I had to bet, I would probably say AJ would be the one to join the group because he has the connection with Finn Balor as far as the click and everything. That would make more sense. But as far as shock factor, I think Rey Mysterio would be way more shocking to turn than AJ Styles. But I think Edge is going to lose. I think he's going to try to put this group over, elevate them to be a legit group in the company because Edge is legend. He got nothing to lose. He's probably going to wrestle maybe for another year for all we know and then retire officially. So it's not going to hurt him to lose an I Quit match, especially if he's like outnumbered where he's getting his ass beat by everybody. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't fight like 5 people by yourself. You know what I mean? So I would love to see Finn Balor get this win. He's still somebody that we talked about before. I think with Shayna Baszler, who should have been world champion. Finn Balor could have been multiple time world champion by now. Somebody who could have been, if he would have been pushed the right way since 2016, he could have been like a legit top star in the company already. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't have had to go back to NXT and revive himself all over again and everything. So I'm hoping Triple H, has high hopes for him still. So I'm gonna say shockingly, it may surprise some people, but I think Finn Balor wins. Once again, I don't think he'll win by himself. I mean, I think he'll have a lot of help. I don't think he'll be Edge clean like an I Quit match. I think he'll have a lot of help, and Edge will like be forced to do something. Maybe Beth Phoenix comes out and like Rhea Ripley like put a chair to her neck or something like that. And then like Edge has to quit or something. So I think Judgment Day is gonna win. Possibly AJ Styles joins the group as well.
I do see Edge winning, although I'm getting really tired of Edge winning every single pay-per-view match. Like, he doesn't need to. We get it. He's a legend. He's great. There's no reason for him to keep, winning and bulldozing over these new superstars. And like you said, I think it would really hurt Finn for him to say, I quit. I really hope that's not the case. I definitely was thinking what you were, that somehow Beth is going to be involved and Edge might say, like, I quit in order to, kind of save her or whatever. But I also definitely could see Edge winning just because they refused to have him lose at pay-per-views recently, which is getting pretty stale. I think if they do have Finn win, I think they'll probably do it in a way that doesn't make Edge look too weak, which would be pretty fair. I think Finn deserves top star treatment. Him being in this group could really elevate him, like he really does deserve. So I do think Edge is probably going to win, which I wouldn't be too happy about because that just would kind of demote the Judgment Day back down to where they were. So while I do really want Finn to win, I could probably rather see Edge winning this.
So I'm a big Edge fan, as you can see, title behind me. But yeah, besides all that, I think Finn is going to win. I think Finn is about to get pushed. Judgment Day is about to get pushed. I think Finn needs to win more than Edge. Obviously, we know that Edge career is coming to an end soon. So I really don't think that he would really need to win. I think that it will benefit more for the Judgment Days, so that way they can get some wins under their belts. They can show that they're more dominant, other stuff. And one thing that I want to see at Extreme Rules, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I need Finn to turn into the Demon Finn Balor, and I need him to come out with the black and purple body paint instead of the black and red. I think that would be dope. But yeah, I got Finn winning the I Quit match.
I am also saying Finn Balor, but it's hard for me to imagine a scenario of Edge saying I quit, but I feel like he has to in order for the Judgment Day to continue to be a dominant faction, because they've already lost several times and they've lost a lot of steam. So I think they need to gain it back. And as much as I love Edge, but I think Finn needs the win, even though this is a very random match. Like I'm not really sure when this came about or why, but even though I've been watching Raw and SmackDown, but yeah, anyway, I think Finn is going to take the win.
So it's hard to see a scenario where Edge says I quit, especially as babyface he's been. But on the other hand, Judgment Day lost at SummerSlam, Clash of the Castle. I can name a few Raws they've lost. Damian Priest lost to Edge. It's tough. I do like what Malik said about the scenario where they bring out Beth Phoenix or something, and he's threatening, so you better say I quit. That's the most likely scenario. I definitely see Finn Balor winning, but I do think this is the part of the show where we do see something with the White Rabbit. Maybe that causes the finish. But I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
Yeah, like Edge, so I get everybody has the feeling where like it would be hard to see Edge quit, but it's not really that same scenario for me. Like I could see him doing it if the odds are like really stacked against him, where he's like has no obligation. Like Edge isn't John Cena. We're like John Cena stood for like never giving up, never quitting. Like that's why I always hated when they put John Cena in I Quit matches, because like he's never losing an I Quit match. It goes everything against Cena's gimmick. Like he stands for never giving up. He literally comes out with a towel and says never give up. He tells people to never quit. It's like if he quit, that makes him look like a hypocrite against his character. So like he would never lose an I Quit match. So like I never understood why they would do that. Like why would you put him in an I Quit match? He's not losing. Edge is a little bit different though. I feel like Edge, it would if they made it right, where like I said the odds were stacked against him and people like understood like he had to quit. Like in a situation where like he didn't want to quit, kind of like like the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso match in Hell in a Cell, like when Roman was choking out his brother and like he wouldn't let go unless Jey quit. So Jey had to quit. Like all right, I quit. I give it up. You know what I mean? Like that was a situation where like okay, I understood why he did what he did. I'm saying like he was protecting his brother. He was trying to protect his brother. Edge for his wife, obviously he would do it. You know what I'm saying, like to try to protect his wife if it came down to that scenario. So I just feel like this is the only match on the card where I feel like if one person does lose, I think it would hurt tremendously, and that's Finn Balor. And anybody else losing, I think would be okay, at least far okay on the show. But if Finn did lose this match, I think that would kind of really hurt not only him, but the group, the Judgment Day, and especially they just added Damian's in there, Rhea. So it's like, well, if he loses, what's the point of the group? I'm saying, like, what was the point of Finn replacing Edge? And then, like, what's the whole point of the group? You know what I mean? So I trust Triple H. That's all I'm saying. I trust him. I trust his judgment. Before we, I do want to talk about the White Rabbit though, real quick. So we got this whole White Rabbit shit going on right now. Everybody's been talking about it. I'm gonna touch on my theory real quick, and then let you guys touch on yours. So I do think we will probably find out at least the identity, I guess, of the White Rabbit at Extreme Rules. However, I do not think Bray Wyatt was going to be at Extreme Rules. I don't think the White Rabbit is Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt has connections with the White Rabbit as far as like controlling the White Rabbit or like leading the White Rabbit or whatever. I don't think Bray Wyatt is the White Rabbit. I think they're probably going to continue to push his debut back again and like continue to drop clues like they've been doing on Raw with like the codes and shit. I think we'll probably find out who the White Rabbit really is. Who it is, I honestly have no fucking idea. I mean, I've seen so many people tease that shit at this point. It could be Joe Gacy from NXT, which that could make sense because he kind of has that little dark character. Karrion Kross was the White Rabbit in Lucha Underground, so that would make sense because he was the White Rabbit. Maybe it's Alexa Bliss because she has connections with Bray Wyatt too. So I mean, that could be him. Maybe it's fucking Braun Strowman. Maybe it's Eric Rowan. I don't know. Like I don't know who it is, but I think we'll probably find out the identity of the White Rabbit. I just don't think Bray Wyatt shows up at Extreme Rules. I think it's more of like whoever the White Rabbit is, they show up, and then like maybe they give another teaser about somebody else is coming. Maybe they drop another animal, the fucking Lion Mountain. Something I don't know, like something. Another animal comes up that we don't know about. I just feel like we're probably gonna get more to the White Rabbit stuff. Like you said, maybe it has something to play with the Judgment Day stuff. You know what I mean, it could be like I assume the I Quit match will probably be the main event. I think that would probably be the main event of the show. So I could definitely see something going down in that match where that scenario plays. Because I don't think Bray Wyatt has connections with Edge. I don't think he has any type of connection with Edge storyline wise, like from the past, as far as I can remember. But maybe we find out who the White Rabbit is. I don't think it'll be Bray Wyatt. I don't think Bray Wyatt is going to show up at Extreme Rules. I think the White Rabbit identity will be somebody completely different, and then they will continue to drop little hints afterwards about Bray Wyatt's return a little bit with the codes and everything. So that's just my theory about it. I'll let you guys touch on it.
I agree with you. I don't know if it's Bray, but I feel like if it's anybody but Bray, there's going to be quite a bit of backlash. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off, really disappointed if it's not Bray. Because at this point, everyone's like, he's the number one guess. And then, Joe Gacy, maybe Karrion Kross. People are going to be pissed if it's not Bray. People are going to be hella disappointed. I will probably be one of those people. So I don't know how good of an idea it is. Hopefully Bray is at least somehow involved in the White Rabbit. Maybe he's not the White Rabbit, but he's like the puppet master or something like that. That would be pretty good too. That would be something else because at least he's coming back. At least he's involved somehow. But I think people are going to be pissed if it's not him. I don't see him returning at Extreme Rules either. Maybe like a down the line thing. Maybe he builds up a bit of some kind of storyline with somebody.
Right.
I'm hoping that Bray is somehow at least involved because, again, people are not going to be happy if he's not coming back in some shape or form,
Yeah, I definitely think I'm convinced at this point that Bray Wyatt is coming back. I mean, all the clues. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the QR codes and everything, like all the clues and stuff. But it's too coincidental for me for it to not be Bray Wyatt. I just don't think he's coming back at Extreme Rules, and if people get mad about that, then that's on them. Honestly, I mean, they just got to wait for the long-term storytelling. I mean, Triple H, if you watch NXT, Triple H is all about like really long-term booking. Like he likes dragging out storytelling. He likes to do long-term booking. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano was like a 3-year feud. You know what I mean? So it's like, obviously there were injuries in there that kind of played out, but it's like the long-term storytelling is a big thing. I think when Triple H is in, I think he's going to try to at least bring that back a little more. I do know that I think we're in the era where some fans are very impatient with certain things because they want things to happen right away. Because like, when I grew up watching wrestling, like long-term storytelling was like a big thing when I grew up. So like I was used to it. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of a big thing, kind of made you more interested and more invested into the feud. So I definitely think Bray Wyatt is coming back though. I just all the connections with the codes and everything, it's just too coincidental. Like I just don't see who else it could be. Like there's nobody else it could be at this point besides Bray Wyatt. So like I think he's coming back with some people like the Wyatt 6 stuff, whatever that is. Like I think there are some people that are gonna pop up first and then Bray Wyatt will pop up like maybe in War Games or something like where everybody's like maybe if we see everybody like who's already in the group and then like War Games comes and like Bray Wyatt officially shows up like with everybody, you know what I mean, like side by side or something. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, first things first, WWE has made me petrified of QR codes now. Like I swear, man, like every single time that I'm just watching Raw or SmackDown, just a random QR code just pops up, and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even go outside. Like it's bad, it's bad, it's real bad. But I agree with you guys. I don't know if Bray is going to show up at Extreme Rules or not. If he don't, then it got to be at one of the bigger pay-per-views like Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. It would make more sense just because they're bigger pay-per-views. But I agree with you, Malik. I think that it's going to be the characters first within the quote-unquote Wyatt 6. So it could be Joe Gacy. It could be Dexter Lumis. It could be Karrion Kross, Alexa Bliss. I saw some people tease Baron Corbin as the Wolf in the picture. So it could be Baron Corbin.
That would be sick, honestly. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw some people, quote unquote, say the White Rabbit is the rabbit from the Rosebuds. So, so
That was me. The white bunny.
yeah. So it could be like any one of them, and then Bray just pops up, and he's here. So, but yeah, I think it would be very dumb if it's not Bray, and I know a lot of people is gonna be pissed off. So. Yeah, hopefully it is Bray. So yeah, I'm just waiting for it. So that's it.
For me, I don't have any serious theories about who it could be. I mean, obviously Bray Wyatt, everyone wants him to come back, so I know he'll be coming back at some point. But hear me out. What if we bring back Bo Dallas and he has something to do with this since Bray is his brother? To me, it would just be incredible. It'd be a way to bring him back because I think, he needed justice. Justice for Bo Dallas. I met him. Such a nice human being. Anyway, I think it'd be a nice way to bring him back and it would make sense. It's his brother's faction, potentially. So I think that'd be fun.
Bo Dallas, I mean.
Bo leave.
I was never big into the Bo leave stuff, honestly. Like it was alright to me, but
loved it.
I mean, with him being his brother, that would make sense, I'm saying, because they had their connection as family. So I mean, it would. And honestly, I think that could be a good tease. Like if Bo Dallas does show up at Extreme Rules, I think people would just get the feeling more of Bray Wyatt. Like, oh shit, that's Bo Dallas. We know who he is.
Exactly.
We know who he's related to. So I mean, I think it would make the excitement a little bit more. Bo, I mean, he would have to come back with a different dog. Like he got to come back with a beard and all types of that. He can't be like Bo Leaf. Like that Bo Leaf stuff was cool, but that wasn't it for me.
Someone in the chat said, "Watch it be right back."
Oh God!
Please no.
Right back.
Oh God!
Somebody says it's gonna be Vince McMahon. White Rabbit will be Vince.
It was me all along. Yeah.
And, I feel like it just has to be Bray. I feel like maybe we do see a reveal on Saturday, because I do think that's bringing a lot of people even tune into Extreme Rules, even though it's going to be a great pay-per-view regardless. But man, it's gonna. I feel like it has to be a faction though. So
who do you think?
What y'all said.
Who do you think the White Rabbit is though? Do you think it is Bray? Or do you think it's somebody else?
Nah, it's got to be Bray. It's got to be Bray.
I think the White Rabbit is Bray. I don't know if you guys saw. Let me see if I can find the image here. He posted this a while ago on his, I want to say Instagram or something. Did you guys see this photo right here?
Oh, I did not.
So he posted this. I don't remember when. It was a while ago, but he posted this before this is before the whole White Rabbit stuff even came around.
Yeah.
He posted this months and months ago. He also posted this too, months and months ago.
I think that could be in a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Dexter Loomis. What you mean?
I put this picture up too, and somebody was like, "That looks like Dexter Loomis." And I was like,
"It does.
It does."
That's crazy. I think it looks like Dexter Loomis. I
don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. I don't see it.
It's the ears. It's the ears, bro.
It is the ears.
Maybe it could be. I mean, Dexter Loomis, I think, could be a good fit because he's very mysterious. He doesn't even talk. I mean, he's literally involved in a story right now where he's stalking the Miz. We don't even know why. There's no reason. We don't know why.
Him down a rabbit hole.
Maybe he's thinking outside the box now. He's thinking outside the box. He's thinking outside. I mean, he did try to come up from the ring and take the Miz down. I mean, it could be something like that. What if you guys had to bet? What do you guys? If you guys had to really bet, do you think Bray Wyatt shows up at Extreme Rules? You think it'll be him, or you think it'll be somebody else?
No,
I think that would be a safe bet, to be honest with you. I don't know.
You saying yeah?
I'm saying yeah.
What about you, Nate? You saying no?
I'll say yeah. I think he'll show up.
Because I don't want to say the show's lacking star power, but it's not. There's no world title match, so I feel like you need.
Yeah.
It's
something for sure.
Yeah.
Huge.
I mean, that would be a big way to end the show for sure. If it was the I Quit match with Edge, I mean, that would be a big way. But I kind of feel on the same way somebody said about the Big Show, I see him coming back like in Survivor Series, like the big show. I'm saying like War Games, something big happens. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know, maybe I mean he probably could show up. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I don't think it'd be at this point. I don't think it'd be out of the ordinary. Where before, like when people were kind of talking about his comeback, I was like, yeah, I guess we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like at this point, it kind of wouldn't be like something that I'm like saying that I really don't see happening. Like I could see him showing up. I just don't think. I think they're going to try to drag it out a little bit as far as like put the codes and everything, and like they're going to start maybe revealing pieces within this group if it is a group of whoever they are, and then what kind of. And I think the pieces will be where like it'll be pieces where it makes people exciting, like Alexa Bliss, the doll heel turn, the Fiend, like Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's brother. You know what I mean? Like if it's Braun Strowman was in the Wyatt family. You know what I mean? Like it's some like little connections like that where like it connects to Bray Wyatt. So it's like like. Makes you a little bit more interesting and intrigued. So I'm curious to see what happens, though. I'm interested to see. I mean, overall, though, I think the show is looking really good, man. Like, it's another good, solid show. I'm glad that we got, once again, all matches that have stipulations again at Extreme
My
Rules.
God.
I don't remember the last Extreme Rules that was like that, where like every match would have
I think I looked into it. It was like 2012, or maybe before that.
Gosh, that's a decade ago. That's a whole decade ago. Like,
Yeah.
That's an entire decade ago. What is one match on the card? Who's one person that you feel like has to win? Like on the entire show, one person that you want to see win? Like at all the matches, one person for you that just has to go over?
I gotta go with Bianca Belair. I really don't think anyone is more deserving than her right now.
What about you, Nate?
I say Seth. The reason why is because I said this like a while ago, back in like January after he lost to Roman in the Rumble. Like he just been on a downhill, and I want to see my man's be great again. So I got to go with Seth.
Matthew, he needs to win because he's just been like this, and it's not okay for someone of his talent. He needs a win.
Those are all very solid, but I feel like, without a doubt, Finn Balor, because I feel like they just lose way too much.
Yeah.
And that's
my answer would be Finn Balor. And everybody on the show, he has to win. I'm not like a crazy Finn Balor type of fan. Like I like him, but like he just, especially in the I Quit match, man, it's gotta be Finn Balor, man. Like he needs it. I think more than anybody on the show. I would be okay if Bayley lost, if Rollins, Riddle, whatever. I mean, that's fine. I think there are plans for at least everybody. At least I just don't know exactly where the Judgment Day would go. At least the thing with Finn losing is like I don't know where you could go after that loss where like fans could still care enough about the Judgment Day. Like if he loses an I Quit match, the whole point of Finn Balor being in the group was to replace Edge because they felt like they didn't need him. You know what I mean? So like if he loses, if Edge is like, it's kind of like with seeing the Nexus. Like he destroyed the Nexus. Like the Nexus was cool for a couple of months, and then when they lost that big match at SummerSlam, they weren't the same. You know what I'm saying they never recovered after that. Even when Cena got in the group, he single-handedly destroyed the group when he got in the group. And so it's like it's not the same. So I think this win would really doesn't even matter how Finn Balor get it as long as Edge says I quit. Instant boost to the top. Balor at the top. You know what I'm saying? It elevates the group a lot. You know what I mean? So I would say Finn Balor for me. I think I can't say I would be too shocked if he lost, though. I think the most shocking loss for me would be Ronda Rousey. If she really lost, honestly, I think that would be the most surprising loss on the show for me. Because Edge is a legend, so like I'm not going to say like he can't win this match. I just don't think it makes sense storyline-wise for him to win. But as far as shocking-wise, I would say Ronda Rousey for me would that one would shock me more than anything if she actually like lost clean to Liv Morgan in the ring, like no win, like clean, like that would surprise me. I would really be thrown off by that. So I'm interested to see how this goes down. Though another good show. I like how Triple H is. I don't know. How do you guys feel about the cards now being short? Like there are not many matches on. Like SummerSlam didn't have any matches. Clash of the Castle didn't have any matches. Extreme Rules didn't have many matches, but all matches get time. They have stories there that involve. So do you guys? Would you guys rather see this for the future as far as like the card having less matches but better stories on the show, or do you guys think they should start adding more matches? How do you feel about it, Maddie?
I like it. I like that there's not a lot of matches. because not to diss AEW or anything, but they're having like 14 match pay-per-views lasting like 4 or 5 hours. We don't have time for that. So I think a small quality card like this, all stipulation matches, I think that's perfect. That's going to deliver perfectly, and people are going to stay entertained. They're not going to doze off, whatever. It's the perfect amount of matches, and they're going to be good quality ones too.
Yeah, I agree. The big thing that I'm really glad to see back is that they're all stipulated matches, which is fantastic. And then also, I'm pretty sure all the matches are going to be about 15, 20-minute plus matches, which is great. Which it makes sense to have not a lot of matches, just because, like you said, you're not trying to build like another WrestleMania or anything like that. You're just trying to keep people entertained for like maybe 3 hours at least. So I think that would be, I think that's good what WWE is doing. So
I have a couple thoughts. I like the shorter match card, number one, because everybody gets time, like you said. Number two, this is good for WWE, bad for the venues. There's no like, okay, time to go get a drink. Like this match is where we can leave and go, go buy something or whatever, waste time. But one other thing that I really like about this card in particular is that the only championship matches are the women's. For me, that's incredible because when has there ever been another pay-per-view where only the women's are being defended? So I think that's something that's really interesting about this card.
Yeah, like everybody else said, every match is gonna have time. Every match has a story, which there's a bunch of pay-per-views that some matches are thrown together. Yeah, and every match has a stipulation, so I'm excited about it. I do like this format. It's been like this since. I mean, you can argue for a Mania there was like a shorter card too, been like that since then. But I'm excited. I like this format.
All right, we can take a couple questions from you all real quick before we head off here. So I've seen this person's been asking us. I'll go ahead and answer real quick. What do you guys think about the Hurt Business potentially getting back together? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I never understood why the group was thrown together and then dismembered like after like 3 weeks. So I never that didn't make any sense to me. I was really excited when the group got together. I thought the potential for the group was really good. You know what I mean? Bobby, Cedric, Shelton, and MVP. I definitely though. My only thing is if they do bring them back together, I feel like you probably would have to put Omos in there since Omos is with MVP. I think it would only make the most sense. Now I know Bobby and Omos kind of had a little beef here and there, but it's like you could always settle different things. You know, wrestling you could. I think you throw Omos in there with Cedric, Shelton, MVP, and then Bobby. Obviously, MVP doesn't wrestle much, so he's the mouthpiece. Bobby Lashley is the top guy. Cedric and Shelton the tag team, and if they still want to try to get Omos to where he can be a top guy, I think putting him in that group could help with them a lot, and he can learn a lot, and he can try to grow. And that would really be on him whether he can succeed or not. Like he's given the platform, he's in the group, so he would have to thrive in the group to make people believe that he can be a legit top guy. But I would be opposed to it, man. I would like to see it happen. Will it happen? I don't really think so, honestly. I think that's kind of in the past. I don't think there was any potential of that group getting back together, but I was really kind of upset when they broke up.
I was upset too, and I definitely wouldn't be opposed to them getting back together either. Although I'm kind of liking Bobby's solo run. I think it's kind of fun. It's a chance for him to kind of grow, develop on his own. I'm liking him as a mid-card champ. I think he's doing a great job with it. As unfortunate as it is, I don't think people are really seeming. It's not so much the people, the fans, more of booking doesn't really seem to care or favor Shelton or Cedric anymore, which is a shame because they're very talented. So I would love for them to be back in the spotlight, but I'm also enjoying Bobby's run on his own. I don't see the Hurt Business getting back together, but I think it'd be cool if they did.
Yeah, like all of you guys, I was disappointed with the Hurt Business breaking up in the first place. Kind of wish that they would have stayed together a little bit longer. It was just weird on how they broke up. Will I see them getting back together? Probably not, just because Bobby's doing his thing with the United States title. I think he's doing a great job. We haven't seen Shelton or Cedric in however long. MVP is doing his thing with my guy. Oh my! He's doing his thing with that guy. So, I I don't see it happening. But yeah, man, I miss Shelton. I was about to say I miss Shelton. I like when Shelton first came back. I thought that they would push him up a little bit. He could be like a great mid card champion or something like that. Cedric, I thought he had great talent as well. I thought he could have been like a mid card champion or maybe a world champion or something like that. But I don't see it now. So yeah.
I agree with Maddie about I like Bobby's run as a solo competitor. What would we think about Apollo Crews joining Hurt Business? What do we think about that? Because I personally would like that.
They kind of teased that a little bit, like in the beginning. We all thought, because we all thought it was going to be Apollo Crews, and it turned out to be Cedric. Cedric was the one that turned it with them, because I think people thought it was going to be Apollo. He started doing the whole thing with Commander C's and everything. But I wouldn't be. I mean, I know he's down back in NXT doing his thing, so
but he can come back.
I wouldn't be opposed to that happening, but I guess the only thing I'm kind of with y'all, Bobby Lashley he's still thriving by himself. You know what I mean? So like, he don't really need the group. Honestly, he's still in a good spot. But I mean, would it be cool to see them come back as the group? Yeah, because it could benefit Bobby and other people. But then Bobby would have to go back as the heel again. He's been doing the babyface stuff right now because they need some baby faces. So he would have to be the heel again and everything, which he could be. But I think as of right now, Bobby's kind of doing his own thing. But Apollo in the group, I personally wanted Apollo to be in the group. I thought he was going to be in the group. I was like, okay, Apollo, Shelton, MVP, and Bobby. That's great right there. But then it turned out to be Cedric, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't too upset by Cedric because I do like Cedric, but I thought maybe Apollo would have been the better fit at that time. So if they do bring them back, which they probably won't, I think Apollo would be a phenomenal fit. But what about you, Darren? You want to talk real quick?
Her Business, I can't really see it coming back anytime soon. Bobby Lashley's doing his thing for like sort of fantasy booking it a little bit. I wouldn't really want to see Omos in it. I mean, and I feel like Omos kind of needs MVP. But if we're fantasy booking it, I would like WWE to bring in maybe Leo Rush or something to be the mouthpiece or whatever. You got Lashley, Cedric, and Apollo.
Lashley. Let's see this one right here. We got a couple ones like this. How do you guys feel about Logan Paul taking on Roman Reigns? That crown jewel.
That's
I mean, okay, so I'm not gonna talk about this for a prediction standpoint because there's no way Roman's losing this match. But I'm gonna talk more of as far as like, I guess what could happen in this match. I mean, I actually was there for Logan Paul's both matches. I was there at WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and WrestleMania he did very well. I think he surprised a lot of people, especially with the heel tactic and everything. SummerSlam, I think he did tremendous. Like that frog splash he hit, everybody was going crazy in the crowd when he hit that shit because like people were like, okay, what is he gonna do here? Like big elbow drop or something, and probably missed. Same thing. I was in the crowd with people. I was like, well, he's gonna miss something. He's gonna do like a big elbow drop or something. But he did the frog splash. And it was like very very clean frog splash too. So like, okay, that was impressive. He's doing this thing. But Roman Reigns is gonna win. I mean, this match is pretty much just for money. It's just a big money draw. Logan Paul's got a big name. Roman Reigns is the guy right now, so it's a big money draw name. I'm not gonna. Listen. Honestly, you ain't gonna see me disrespect Logan Paul in wrestling. He got to show me that he can go. So he impressed me in both his matches. So I know he could do things in the ring. As far as what him and Roman can do, not really sure. I don't know. I don't want to say it'll be a squash match because I mean I don't know how much offense Logan Paul will get in. I do think Roman probably will dominate at least most of the match, where he kind of looks dominant. Maybe Logan Paul is like getting his ass whooped and he's trying to like fight back type shit. I don't know, but I definitely think Logan is not winning. That would be like that would probably be like the most shocking thing we've had since the streak ending. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm more interested to see what they can do in the ring together as far as like putting on a quality match. Logan Paul, like I said, I thought he did really well at WrestleMania. He did really well at SummerSlam, so I give him credit for that. And this is only his third match, so he's wrestling the guy in the company right now. So it's like I'm curious to see what he can do in the ring with Roman Reigns. But I think we all pretty much know, like, far as prediction, like Roman Reigns is gonna win. I mean, we all know Roman's gonna lose at some point, but it ain't gonna be Logan Paul. So it's all just for money grabs, though. I mean, they gonna make shit ton of money doing it, so I can't knock it. Anybody else want to touch on it? Anybody else want to say something?
I mean, quickly. I mean, at the end of the day, the match isn't for our audience. It's for to go out and grab a new group of fans. So I mean,
right? Yeah.
Roman's
let me tell you right now. If for some reason Logan Paul wins this match, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not watching WWE anymore. Triple H is done in my book. But obviously, like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I mean,
especially and for me, their styles are so different in the ring. Like, clearly, Logan has established himself as like very athletic and high flying, and Roman's like not that. So I don't know how that's gonna go. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's just different styles. So I don't know how it's gonna go from like a chemistry standpoint. I'm hoping they're gonna work on it a little bit before if they can. I don't know, but I think it might be a little clunky. I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely. I mean, I don't think it probably won't be like the longest match either. Maybe 10 minutes at the most. Yeah. You know what I'm saying something that's not gonna. I don't see it being like a drag out 30-minute type match. You know what I mean? Like this match will probably be a variety of short, and it'll probably, like I said, Roman will win. I think Logan Paul will show off and he'll impress people. He may get like a fall finish, like I'm saying, like where like he may get like 1 or 2 false finishes. Roman kicks out or something like that. But at the end, I mean, I don't think Logan Paul's not beating Roman. I mean, if somebody else was the champion, you could convince me otherwise. But it's Roman Reigns talking about. Roman Reigns is on a completely different level right now than anybody. So I mean, his first match losing. I don't see it being to Logan Paul. I mean, it's going to be somebody else. I think so. But we'll see what happens. I mean, only time will tell. I don't know how it could turn out. Anything could happen as far as chemistry wise. Hurt Business, yeah, I do want to see Hurt Business back together. I do. I mean, I would love to see it, but I mean, don't really know if it's going to happen. So I mean, that's really only will Seth face Roman for the show. I think the match at Survivor Series should be Roman versus Seth for the title. That's what I think it should be. I think it makes the most sense. Survivor Series 10-year anniversary. The way the match ended at the Royal Rumble was not the way people wanted it to end. Like for me, you got to have a clear-cut winner. It's got to be somebody going to win straight up. So I think, and there's still, I think people are still invested into that. You know what I mean? I think people still want to see that match, like a straight-up winner as far as being in that match. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that should be the main event of Survivor Series. And I know they're doing War Games, but there's other groups, Judgment Days around. You could have other people. You could have the other Bloodline members. They could be in the War Games match. You know what I mean? So, what will this match happen? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if this will be the match, because I don't think they're gonna do Raw versus SmackDown this year, just because they're doing War Games and Roman has both titles. The Usos have both titles, so like they can't face anybody on the brands. Like they have both titles, so it's like they'd have to defend them. So I think Seth Rollins would be, as for this particular event too, I think Seth Rollins would be the perfect opponent.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm going to the Rumble. I want to see it at the Rumble, but I can definitely see them doing it at the Survivor Series.
I mean, maybe they could push it to the Rumble again. I mean, it would be another year, so I mean, they could probably do it, but that's always a British. What if Becky Lynch returns at Extreme Rules? Maybe, possibly Becky Lynch. I mean, I think they said she's been recovering actually pretty well. So I mean, maybe she does come back sooner than we expect. I don't know how serious her injury is, but possibly, maybe. Never say never. Anything can happen. So thank you guys for coming through the chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be doing Extreme Rules as well. So thank you guys for coming through. I know everybody's gonna be watching Extreme Rules, so we all have our own predictions. We'll have to wait and see what happens, what comes to fold as far as how the show goes. I'm excited to see what goes down. I think definitely after Extreme Rules, when it comes to the White Rabbit stuff, and when it comes to pretty much everything going on right now, we'll have a clear cut head of like what's gonna happen. So thank you guys for coming through. And if you guys want to go ahead and plug in yourself again, you guys can plug in your social media again real quick before we head off here if you guys want to. Tell everybody we can follow you. We'll start with Darian at the bottom, and then we'll kind of go from the bottom to the top.
All right. So you can follow me at WrestleSpot on pretty much everything. Just have a yellow logo with a ring in it. I have my own podcast. This was fun, man. If you ever need me again, I'm here.
Sure, man, for sure.
Once again, I'm Mary the Heel on TikTok. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Mary the Cause Founder.
So Nathan Coleman 6 on TikTok, Nate the Great on Twitch, playing video games and live stuff on there. So that's it.
Satan TikTok username here, IZ Persephone. You guys can follow me there.
All right, make sure you guys give them all a follow on social medias. Check all their stuff out. Stay tuned for more stuff on the YouTube channel, Twitch, and then make sure you guys go follow that stuff as well, and TikTok as well for all the content. So thank you guys for coming through, taking the time out of your day, and we'll see you guys until next time.